Hello, Aquarius, and welcome to Indigo Rising Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you're having a great day. This will be your weekly reading for the week of May 3rd through the 9th. And during that time, we have a waning gibbous for really the entire week. We're coming off that full moon energy, and now the moon is starting to dim and the light starts to go down a little. It's a good time for self-reflection and rebirth. We're going to make positive changes and keep growing and working on those things that we started at the beginning of the cycle. Also, getting rid of bad habits and negative thinking as we just forge ahead to bring those things to completion. And that starts to happen during the last quarter moon, and that's on the 9th. So the last quarter is when things do start to come to fruition, and we're just kind of giving it our all and making sure that we're finishing up things, and also still getting rid of that negativity and those negative emotions and things, and kind of looking back on where we've been, because soon we will start to make an assessment on where we might go. Turn those lights on. A little brighter. Okay, there we go. For the next cycle. So please keep those moon energies in mind, Aquarius, as we move through the week. This will be an intuitive general reading for energies that you may or may not encounter. So as always, please take what resonates and leave what doesn't for someone else. And your overall message for this reading, it is the time to give rather than take. All right, let's see what the Aquarius Collective has going on for the week. As I'm shuffling, the first thing is, if you hear frogs, there are frogs outside of my window. We've got we don't have our pool open yet, and the frogs like to get on the pool cover, and there's probably 5 or 6. Of course, I said that, and now they've stopped, so that's funny. They didn't want me talking about them. But they're out there kind of calling back and forth to each other, and every once in a while we hear like a bark. I guess it's probably some kind of mating call, but if you hear that, it's just some frogs outside my window here. So, my fun weekly reminder for you this week, Aquarius, is that you take some time to meditate. Of course, if you're hearing frogs like that, you may need some headphones and maybe do a guided meditation. There's lots of different options on those on the internet. So, headphones are a must if you just need the noise canceling of something, right? So, but meditating, maybe try just 5 or 10 minutes a day. See if it makes a difference in your life, or longer sessions. Maybe just plan a couple, just write it right in your planner, schedule a couple, some you time for the week, maybe 20 minutes, half an hour, even up to an hour, if you can stay still that long. I can't. I'm horrible at that. I really have to work my way up to that. But sometimes if I'm ready, and especially if a guided meditation, I can. Anyway, I will stop babbling. Let's get into this reading. We've got Aquarius, May 3rd through the 9th. A time to give rather than take. Your present energy right now is the 6 of Wands. So, giving right now for you is going to be easier because you're kind of feeling a little bit of success and getting a little bit of recognition. And this could be this as simple as, an attaboy from your boss or someone in your family, or somebody's like, hey, I see you and I see that you're doing well and good job. You're doing good things right now. So that's always nice to feel. Your current situation here is the 2 of Pentacles. So you're kind of juggling things when it comes to things like work and home life, and this, that you kind of feel like you've got all the balls in the air, and maybe it's feeling like, if you look at the water in the back of this card, it's very topsy-turvy back there. So, if you're starting to feel like, oh, I just can't get it all done, and I feel like I probably need to do this soon in my life as well, is sit down and just evaluate, where is it in my life that I feel like this? What am I doing that I start to feel like, oh, topsy-turvy? Sometimes it's just about maybe it is adding meditation, just getting up a half an hour early in the morning, adding a 10-minute meditation. Maybe that makes your day go better. Maybe it gets you more organized. Doing a to-do list at the beginning of your day, or I don't know, just checking off things that you have to complete, and just really managing your time better. So think about that, because it feels like you are kind of feeling like you're juggling everything. At the root of your situation this week is the Queen of Wands. So, Queen of Wands is about really understanding the things that we're passionate about. And even though we have things that we're very passionate about, we still have to take care of these pentacles, right? You still have to take care of your responsibilities, even though it's like, I am passionate about finishing this book, but the dishes need done, or I need to pay bills, or I need to do this thing. Sometimes you just have to manage those things that you're really passionate about, but make sure you get to them. I tend to be, a lot of times I will do the work and then I'm so exhausted by the end I don't do the passion. So you do have to balance that out too. And that's kind of where I tend to go. I tend to go more on the work side. Other people can go on the passion side. It's what my husband does. I'm so jealous that there can be dishes and he doesn't care. He will still do the thing that's fun for him. I've always aspired to be like him, and I've yet to acquire that. So see where you are on that scale. Make sure that you are getting enough of both things. You have to do the responsible thing, but you also get to do the thing that's fun and the thing you're passionate about as well. In your recent past here, a little celebrating with the Three of Cups. This could be, recently a party that you attended or something, and maybe that kind of knocked you out of whack, or maybe that's where you heard this congratulatory thing, or maybe it rekindled some passion or something that you had, something that you like to do, and you were able to maybe do that with friends, or kind of brought up a memory of, oh, I like to do that and I need to add that back to my life. So could be, but that's fun that you and relax, hang out with your friends. What's on your mind this week is the Hangman, so some sort of new perspective. And did that come from this recent maybe social gathering? Maybe. And maybe it's energized you a little bit, and maybe it's thrown you just a little bit off kilter. So, whatever that is for you, you're going to know. There's somebody right now who's heard that and said, oh, yeah, that social thing did throw me off kilter because, and then each Aquarius would probably fill in the blank like a Mad Lib differently for that, right? So, again, tarot is an energy. It's not exactly what's happening, it's the energy of a thing. So, but yeah, getting a different perspective here, from something. There's, for some reason, you're kind of taking a moment to look at things a little bit differently. Okay, what is just ahead of you this week is the Magician. So you're looking at things differently and you're juggling things, and now the Magician is like, hello, I've arrived. How may I help you? So this is where you get to choose an element to help balance things out a little bit. So if your pentacles are feeling out of control, why is that? Is it because you need more, need to manage your pentacles better, maybe manage your money or your house, your, how things are getting done? Maybe you need to manage that better. And how can you do that? What is it that your life needs more of, and how can you change that? So the Magician is like, what do you want to manifest? And let's do it. Because we're coming around again on the new moon cycle. Maybe make a list. I see the new moon as kind of a New Year's. We get one every month. So instead of trying to make all these resolutions and things on New Year's, you make kind of a big list of, here's how I want my life to change. And you pick one of those things and do it at the new moon and start it for a monthly cycle that you're like, look, I'm going to focus on, I'm going to organize paying my bills, and just do that this month. That's fine. Get it organized. Once you get that thing organized, then it just becomes routine to manage it the rest of the months. And next month, you're just somewhere else. There's maybe you can't keep your bathroom clean. So next month, that's your focus. This month, I'm really going to focus on how I can not have this bathroom be so stressful and keep it clean or reorganized, right? So see that new moon as like a new start on different things. And then you just take a whole month to really work on it and just get it to improve your life, so that you're like, by the end of the year, there's no resolutions because you've been working on stuff all year long. All right. In your advice position, Aquarius, is the Two of Cups. So come together in partnership with someone, maybe even talk about this. This could be that you're partnering with me as I explain this to you. That could be that simple. Could be a friend, like, hey, how do you look like you have your finances and your house under control? How do you do it? Get advice from them. I have this new perspective. Maybe you were at this friend's house at this party and you're like, I can't believe that they can manage all of this and then throw a party on top of it. I'd be crazy if I did that, right? Seek that friend out. So, look at your friends as ways to grow. Like, there are people around you that know a thing better than you. I'm sure they come to you for something as well. So whatever this is coming together to work as a team on something. This could also be with a partner or someone at work, to work together to get a thing accomplished, right? All right. What is beyond your control this week is the Hermit card. So you will take some time to go within, and that's good. Maybe you'll take my advice and get up in half an hour earlier to do a meditation, and maybe you just start off your day just feeling very calm and ready to go. And that hermit time can be spent, they say that should get in the sunlight first thing in the morning. I try to do this, and it's first off, to get me up that early can be difficult, but if that sun's coming up, I do try to get in it. It's a good way to be, and they say it just wakes up, our whole circadian rhythm thing. It's the best wake up call that you can have is getting up with that sun. So, take that hermit time in whatever ways you can do it, whether it's meditation or meditation with the sun or whatever it is that you're working on. All right. What is your secret desire, or what are you trying to avoid? Well, of course, the Five of Cups, you're trying to avoid some sort of grief or sadness, and we all are. So, is there something that, does it just make you sad to feel like you're juggling all this? I doubt if it's your secret desire to feel that. So maybe you are just trying to avoid feeling like, ugh, I just can't do it. Remember when it comes to this card that, yeah, these things are making you sad, but you have this support behind you too, with those two full cups that are still upright. In your outcome position, 10 of Wands. So it might just be letting something go, finishing something, doing some final push, or some final push just to make a change in your life that does make things a little bit easier. But again, you've got the Magician here to help. You've got this new perspective. You've got this final push. The Hermit's going to help you as well. You've got inner wisdom. You know what you're doing. And you know how to do it. You just need to actually get up and get it done, right? What is hidden from you at the bottom of the deck is the Nine of Wands, which is anxiety and sleepless nights. You don't have that. You're sleeping well. You're not anxious about this. This is almost like a little thing. It's like, I can fix this. You're not so anxious that you're giving up about it. So that's a good thing. So stay positive. Again, it's a good week for getting rid of getting rid of our negative emotions, and a time to give rather than take. It could be that could be here with these friend cups, right? That sometimes it is time to just give to your friends. Maybe they need help as well, and you get together and say, hey, let's conquer this together. All right, let's get you a final wrap up card here from the Soul Oracle deck. Make necessary sacrifices. Yeah. Again, if it means getting up a half an hour early, you sacrifice a little bit of sleep to get organized. Maybe you're not sleeping enough. Make the sacrifice to get in bed a little bit earlier. They say that the beginning of any of these cycles with trying to just get your life in order, it all starts with sleep, right? Sleep well, everything else starts to come in. So whatever that might be for you, just work on it. All right, self-care for you, Aquarius. Self-care this week for Aquarius, and you get the card called Mind. I love the art on these cards. You are the master of your inner world, and you decide how the outer world affects you. Cultivate a calm inner state. While there's some more encouragement to get up a half hour early, get that mind right, right? Sometimes it's just that. Sometimes it's just organizing your mind, quieting things down, doing those meditations, getting rid of negative thoughts. Really good thing to do just to get yourself really centered. Then take a deep breath and start your day. See if that makes a change for you. It might. I hope it does. So, Aquarius, thank you so much for being here. I hope there's something in this reading that you can take away and use in a positive way in your life this week. If you're comfortable sharing, of course, drop me a comment down below. Let me know if anything here resonated or if you have questions about anything. I would be very happy to answer this for you. Also, if you like my reading style, hitting like and subscribe will help you find me next week. And I think that's pretty cool. You can come back and see if this energy continues or if there's something completely new here for you next week. So, Aquarius, thanks again for being here, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.